What's up, everybody? I'm here to show you how to install SOS M. I know not everyone's familiar with Aroma, so I figured I'd take some time to explain it. So I'm currently running 1.2, which you guys will never see because MickeyXD just put out 1.3. So I updated it, threw it on my SD card, and now I'm rebooting into recovery. If you're running MeanROM, you can flash this over just like you do with all updates. As you can see, I'm using 4ext recovery. Choose it from SD card. I put it right here. SOSM 1.3. Can't really see it, but that's it. Yep. And just give it a second, and ROM will start up. Yeah, if you're coming from a different ROM, do everything the same, and I'll show you the step that's different. This is just the theme for the installer, so I'm going to choose ICS because it's my favorite. You get a little welcome screen, which reminds me I need to update that before I actually release this. Agree, a little change log, and I have a little warning. I recommend you unplug your Evo before you install. Alright? Get all these cords out of the way. And won't let you do it until you say you've unplugged it. So make sure you do it. And then choose, I'll explain the unplug in a second. Choose fresh install here. Upgrade install will be valid with some releases. Because you won't want to change your Aroma settings, your custom settings, like I want this launcher, I want this kernel, blah 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 blah, and only the ROM changed. In this version, obviously we want to do a fresh install, and majority of the versions you're going to do a fresh install, and you're also going to do a custom install because you want to select what you're going to do. So just to make sure you're installing the right ROM, not an old one. I got the version number right there for you. I'm going to go with Apex launcher, but there's plenty of launchers to choose from here. You can select whether you want beats or not. I think I'm going to go with the beats, why not? And I don't want the HTC lock screen, even though it's badass. Let's see. Not much here in the mod screen yet. Don't worry, I'll be adding to that over time. I don't need the stock HTC mail or the voice dialer. I love the rest of those apps. Now, here's the option that everyone needs to look at here. The first one says, don't wipe data. Majority of the time, that's where you're going to want to go. The installer will go through it and wipe your caches for you, so you don't have to do that. 99% of the time, that's what you're going to have to select. However, sometimes you're going to want the super data wipe. For instance, if you go out and you try another ROM and you want to switch back to SOS M, or if this is your first time ever flashing SOS M, you want to select Super Data Wipe. Alright? I'm not going to select it. I'm going to select Don't Wipe Data. And it will let me know that my Angry Birds scores are safe. And then I hit Install, and it's off. And again, as far as the charging goes, I know 4ext recovery is pretty cool because it actually charges your Evo while you're installing the ROM. But for some reason with Aroma, especially with this binary version that I'm using right now, it doesn't install files to the SD card while it's plugged in. Kind of weird. Right now the only file I have been installed to the SD card is SOS News. Great app if you want to keep up to date with the ROM. But yeah, that should be your only downfall. Everything else should work just fine. By the way, if you do the Super Data Wipe, that's Chad Goodman's Super Data Wipe. Built it in there. It takes a long time. Not that long, but compared to like this ROM install, like I'm letting go just because it's pretty fast. But yeah, the wipe takes probably about 5 minutes altogether. But it's a good wipe, and I definitely recommend it. Pretty much makes it so you don't have to wipe anything in recovery, although I do recommend going into recovery and wiping some of the partitions the old-fashioned way. But yeah, that's pretty much how to install here.